Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mike, and today we're taking a look at one of life's greatest mysteries. Why one single day in an American hospital can cost more than a week in Europe, 2 flat-screen TVs, and maybe even a small used car. Seriously, the average cost for a one-day hospital stay in the US is around $3,000 US. And if you're in California or New York, try $4,000 to $5,000. If you're in the ICU, you might as well sign over your house deed. At that point, it's not a hospital bed, it's a timeshare. So let's break down why hospitals charge so much, and let's have a little fun while we do it. But let's not stop there. A while ago, my brother spent one day in the hospital here in the Philippines, and the total bill here was a lot less. How much less? Well, let's put it this way. After watching this video, you might start thinking about looking on Expedia for a one-way ticket here to the Philippines and making sure that your passport hasn't expired. I'll get into all of that coming up. So towards the end of this video, I'll be talking about how affordable Philippine hospitals are compared to the US. In fact, if you come here to the Philippines and wind up in the hospital, you'll probably be delighted at how much lower costs are. Here's something else you might be delighted with: a dating service called ChristianFilipina.com. They provide an excellent service with competitive rates. They also have a screening process enabling them to weed out all of those scammers. So be sure to check out Christian Filipina by clicking or tapping the link in the description below. First, let's talk about sticker shock. I'm not talking about the kind of sticker shock that you'd find at a new car dealership. Imagine this: you go to the hospital, spend the night, and leave with a bill the size of your mortgage payment. Meanwhile, in other countries, people pay a few $100, maybe nothing at all. That's like buying a sandwich in the US for $12 when the same sandwich in France is $2. But instead of bread and turkey, it's your health. So why is it so much? Let's start with one big culprit: administrative overhead. Hospitals in the US are like giant office buildings disguised as medical centers. About 25% of spending goes not to doctors and nurses, but to paperwork. That's right, your $3,000 a day covers the guy who codes your bill, the lady arguing with your insurance company, and probably an intern trying to remember how to spell appendectomy. Other countries have one insurance system. The US has thousands. It's like dating apps with too many choices, and none of them are a perfect match. So hospitals hire armies of staff just trying to make sure that they get paid. And you, along with your insurance company, you're footing the bill for all of that bureaucracy. Next up, labor costs. Hospitals are people-intensive. Doctors, nurses, janitors, technicians, cafeteria workers, you name it. And doctors don't come cheap. In the US, they graduate with more student loan debt than the average amount of debt discharged on bankruptcies. So when you pay that hospital bill, part of it is basically going toward your doctor's old student loan debts. Congratulations, you're now a co-signer. Then we have the toys. Sorry, I mean life-saving technology. U.S. hospitals love to brag about their shiny new MRI machines, robotic surgery tools, and electronic record systems. That's great for patients, but here's the catch: an MRI machine can cost as much as $3 million. And to keep it running costs as much as a luxury car each year. So even if you came in with a sprained ankle, you're helping pay for the hospital's multi-million-dollar gadgets. It's like splitting the dinner check with a friend who ordered steak, lobster, and champagne, while you had a crumb so small that you needed a microscope to see it. Oh, and don't forget to return that microscope to the lab at the hospital so you don't receive an overinflated bill for said microscope. Should I keep going? Well, yes, then there's the legendary hospital pharmacy, where aspirin costs $10, saline solution is $100, and don't even ask about insulin. Why so high? Because in the US, drug companies basically set whatever price they want. There's no bulk discount here. So I seriously doubt that we'll ever see a hospital called Costco General Medical Center. And then there's the IV bag of salt water. You could make it at home for 50 cents, but in the hospital it costs as much as a gourmet meal. Somewhere, someone is becoming a billionaire off of salt water. Honestly, I think that I chose the wrong career path in becoming a truck driver. Now let's talk about lawsuits. America loves a good lawsuit almost as much as it loves reality TV. Because of that, doctors often practice what's called defensive medicine, ordering extra tests and procedures just in case. So if you come in with a headache, you might leave with a CT scan, an MRI, 3 specialist consultations, and a bill that looks like you just financed a boat. Is it all necessary? Probably not. But it's cheaper for the hospitals to overtest than risk being sued. And besides, they still get to bill you or your insurance company or both. Here's a fun one. Hospitals are required to treat patients in emergencies even if they can't pay. Now, morally, that's a good thing. Financially, it means someone else has to cover those costs. And guess who that someone is? Yep, it's you. So when you see a $25 charge for tissues, it's not just for your runny nose. You're helping cover the guy who came in last week without insurance. It's like socialism, except U.S. hospitals are not part of a government agency. Oh, and let's not forget insurance. If you're insured, your provider negotiates prices, which means that you might not see the full sticker price. But if you're uninsured and you're going to pay that bill, congratulations. You get to pay the Lamborghini price tag while everyone else is leasing a Honda Civic. 2 people, same hospital, same procedure. One pays $500, the other one pays $5,000. It's like healthcare roulette. And spoiler alert, the hospital always wins. Running a hospital is like running an airport. It's open 24/7. It has thousands of employees and nobody's ever happy about being there. Between electricity, water, heating, cooling, cleaning, food, and laundry, the overhead is enormous. So when you see room charge, $2,500, you're not just paying for the bed, you're paying for the lights, the janitor, the cafeteria, and maybe even the goldfish in the waiting room aquarium. And finally, let's talk about profit. Yes, many U.S. hospitals are nonprofits, but nonprofit in healthcare is like saying calorie-free on a soda can. It doesn't mean what you think it means. Even nonprofit hospitals pay executives 7-figure salaries and spend millions on advertising. So your $3,000 a day bill, part of it goes to pay for the CEO's corner office and probably his golf membership too. Now, what about extras? And no, I'm not talking about the extras that you'd receive at a massage parlor located in the middle of the seedy section of town. I'm talking about that patient laid up in a hospital bed who asks for an aspirin, which is going to cost him $10. You need a bottle of water? Well, that could be $30. Want an extra pillow? Congratulations, you've just bought the most expensive pillow outside of Buckingham Palace. And don't even think about asking for a blanket unless you want to pay five-star hotel spa prices for something thinner than a paper towel. So why does this happen? Well, hospitals claim that these little charges cover overhead. Translation: you're not paying for the pillow, you're paying for the person who fetched the pillow, the laundry machine that washed that pillowcase, the electricity that powered the laundry machine, and probably the guy who invented the pillows back in ancient Mesopotamia. And hospitals get really creative with their terminology. A plastic cup, that's not a cup, it's a hydration vessel. A box of tissue, oh no. That's a nasal secretion management system. And each of those comes with a markup that would make a luxury jewelry store blush. It's all part of a system called shifting, where hospitals make up for unpaid bills by charging the rest of us $30 for a bottle of water. Now let's shift gears and talk about my American brother who spent one night in the hospital here in the Philippines. A very nice hospital. And he asked for an extra pillow and some bottled water. Also, he had some lab work done. The total bill was just under $176 US. In the United States, his copay might have been more than that. Now please, I beg of you, don't tell Philippine hospitals the amount of money that US hospitals gouge patients for every year, because we don't want them charging the same as hospitals in the expensive states of America. That's a little secret just between you and I. Thanks for watching. If this made you laugh or cry, hit that like button, subscribe for more, or click or tap the bell notification. And let me know in the comments what's the craziest bill you've ever seen. And if you're on your way to the hospital, I know a really good bankruptcy attorney. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and if you do have to go to the hospital, maybe bring your own water, pillow, and blanket. Trust me, it's a lot cheaper. God bless and peace out.